guys. Welcome to an all-new edition of Talk to Me Toy, the podcast. And I have a guest today. This man, listen, vocal coach, singer, songwriter. I had the pleasure of meeting you at a Frankie Beverly's street naming ceremony. And it was something about this man, you guys, I was just drawn to. So I was like, I don't know, before I leave here, I have to get your information. He said, my name is Freedom Imani. And I said, oh, I knew I needed to be in your presence. It's just power in it. So Freedom, welcome. Thank you so much.
I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you spending this time with me. I said, it's so funny. We met at Frankie Beverly.
We did.
And then we ended the night. We had the opportunity to see his very last show on
Frankie. It was amazing.
Ooh,
congratulations.
Yes, congrats, Frankie. Yes. It was just a beautiful night. So let's get into, how did you start this connection with Frankie Beverly?
Well, I had the honor of doing a tribute to Harriet Tubman.
Okay.
They did a 13-foot statue tribute to her, revealing. In Cambridge, Maryland. And it was a turnout over I think 1,000 people came out for it.
Okay.
And I was blessed to be able to pay tribute to her singing Home from The Wiz. And after the show, I met Deborah Beverly.
Okay.
And she came up to me and she said, my name is Deborah Beverly. She said, I need your phone number and a picture. And I said, okay.
Oh.
Cheese. Number.
Yes.
And ever since then, that was back in 2022.
Okay.
Ever since then, we kept in touch with each other. I kept, reaching out to her, just building a relationship, and we became very close.
Okay.
And out of nowhere, she just called me. And it was like, I have something for you.
Come on
and
now.
I'm just like, oh,
what you got for me? What you got?
So that's how, to make a long story short, that's how I got that from Miss Deborah Beverly.
Okay.
And I was just blown away.
Wow.
To be on that list along with Melba Moore.
Yes.
The iconic Melba Moore, along with my bro, G. From Silk, the lead singer of Silk. So when she called me, I was just like, wow, God. For me to be as young as I am and have that opportunity is just like, wow. And I've been fasting and praying and doing a lot of things. And when Miss Beverly called me, she told me she was fasting. And the Spirit spoke to her and gave her my name.
Ooh, come on, when it's ordained.
Yeah. So I was just like, wow.
Oh.
So that's how that happened. 2022 all the way up into this year. And I got the phone call.
Look at God, like me. And it gets you in a dream state, because I'm not gonna lie, me and this man, we're like besties at this point in time. So we've had conversations. So can you speak to your connection? You had told me a story about when you were going through a rough time, and the Frankie Beverly song that just kind of kept you going. And then now, fast forward to 2024. So give us some insight on that.
Well, it was a lot that I was going through, because people don't know the difference between being a performer and an entertainer. And when you are an entertainer, this is our lifestyle, this is what we do.
Yes.
But there was a lot of things that I was going through and not properly taking care of my body. And I wind up suffering. I suffer really bad with arthritis in my neck and spine.
Yes.
So for 2 weeks I was paralyzed. From the waist down. I couldn't walk, I couldn't talk, I lost my memory. And started to regain my memory, and in that process, God led me to listen to the golden time of day. Wow. And I'm just like, why am I listening to this song? And I just kept listening to it, and that song actually helped the healing process. Wow. And within that period of time that I was going through that and fasting and praying, that was around the time I got the phone call from her.
Wow.
Miss Beverly asking me to sing the golden time of day.
Whoop! When God and Spirit is working.
I just was like, God, what are you doing?
It's kind of almost like the power of manifestation. You didn't even realize you manifested that, and alignment. And then to just see you here in 2024 coming from that to a place of just despair, and you didn't know what your future was going to look like.
I didn't even know if I was going to be able to walk again.
Oh.
You know, one of my good brothers, Horace. He's a singer-songwriter in Richmond.
Okay.
And he travels as well. He actually came to see me in my home, and he found me there paralyzed.
Ooh.
You know, came and he just like, God spoke to me, told me to come and find you, and I'm just laying there. He helped feed me and take care of me and build my spirit back up. But I was leaving out of here. Couldn't breathe. I couldn't do anything.
Wow.
And I prayed the prayer that I asked God to paralyze my flesh so that he can get all the glory. So in that process, I was able to fast and pray and just really get myself back in alignment to be in position.
Wow.
You know, it's very important for us to stay in alignment with God, being on this road.
Come
because
on.
people like Uncle Frank,
Yep.
or just I would not have been here if I didn't fast and pray and hear the voice. I'd have never met you.
Come on now.
Never.
And that's the thing, you got to be at the fasting and praying. It provides that clarity, a clear mind, and to be connected with him, you got to be clear. You got to be in solitude. Because he's always talking to us, but we just got to listen.
Yeah, that's the thing. We don't listen. So
me, ears are open.
you gotta listen.
All right, so let's get into your story. When did you start singing?
So I started singing when I was 5.
Okay.
And my mom, she was a singer, God rest her soul. She passed 2019 from kidney cancer. But my mom was a singer. My uncle was a great singer, vocal coach. I have tons of family in the music industry.
Wow.
So like a lot of us grew up singing and traveling with each other, and it just took off from there. Like my mom kept me in front of people. She kept me singing at every assembly, anything that was going on. Even in school, I was never really in school because every school I went to, once they found out I could sing, I was singing at somebody's wedding, funeral, something.
Wow.
And from there, God just started to open up doors. But I was telling people, for a lot of people that really don't know of a lot of work that God have allowed me to do, it's come because of my prayer, not because of man.
Come on.
I would pray to work, and he would have them there. Like, period.
He said, I set the table to you. The
Period.
Table is prepared. I put them in
fast and I
position.
believe it, and I said, God, I want to work with so and so. He said, well, you need to sacrifice this, and I would sacrifice that, and he would have them right there.
Ooh, the power of obedience and discipline.
So a lot of my work just started to pick up because I was consistent with God, and he just started to order my steps, and I just started working, being a ghost singer and a ghost writer for a lot of great artists.
Okay. Would you like to mention any, or okay, you want to keep that reserved? Okay. All right.
It was a blessing.
Okay.
It was a blessing, and you know, for me, it's different because I went into it wanting to learn.
Yes.
I went into it not really expecting the notoriety or all of that extra stuff. I really wanted to learn. So when I was doing it at the time, it was about learning and being a leader, and also being a caretaker to the spirits that's out there that needs that next level of faith.
Wow. Beautiful.
So doors just started to open up like left and right, left and right.
Look at God. Won't he do it?
And I did a competition for Heaven 600 when I was like 12.
Okay.
And it opened up the door for me to release like my first gospel single at the time.
Okay.
Called I'm Still Here.
Come on, I'm still here. Yes.
You know, Prophet Joanne Foley, she was the writer.
Okay.
And, you know, that opened up a lot of doors for me. And I started to take off just doing gospel and segment my way through a lot of different channels, you know, then on from there.
Yes. Okay, come on, beautiful. Yes, I love this. Now let's really talk about your I know you really come from the church. It is all in you. And I want to get into are you comfortable with talking about the sexuality? So growing up in the church and just how you present, like, did you go to a point in your life where you felt stifled and you were afraid to just kind of be who you are? Let's talk about that journey, because God loves every person. And I'm just a firm believer that sometimes the church might teach a little differently. So how was it for you going in that, knowing that you have this gift from God in you? He gave it to you.
Well, my pastor, the pastor church I was at in Simmons Memorial Baptist Church, Pastor Dwayne Bowden Simmons in Baltimore, He told me that God didn't call me to the four walls.
Okay.
And he needed me to leave the church and study every religion because they would need me and I would need them. And he took the mic from me. He wanted me to go out.
Wow.
So it was my pastor that gave me that to start R&B, go on the road. And when I came off the road and came back because I thought God was going to hate me, he was like, no, God knows exactly who you are. Go back out. So my bringing was very, very different. Like in a church, and even being gay and everything, they knew exactly what it was.
Thank you.
They wouldn't say it, but I don't have to announce it, and you see it.
You see what it is. Stop. I walked in this room. You see it. You see the leg. You see the heels. What's up? You see the beat.
This is straight.
Yeah.
You can tell me.
Yeah.
This is straight. So whether I wore a suit or whatever, but I didn't feel like I had to flaunt or say anything, because it's not about that. It's about the art. It's about the music. It's about the passion. And I've always been that way about myself and my spirit. I owe nobody nothing.
Ooh.
Only owe God. So what do I have to explain? And so I had to stay consistent, because there were churches that turned lights off, that turned the sound off when it was time for me to get up. There were a lot of things, but I kept coming. I stayed consistent, and my consistency got me where I am.
Here.
Yeah, because that stuff can break you.
It does a beating, just a beat down on you, and it takes a very strong person to be able to deal with that, let it filter through your system and say, you know what, I'm still going to continue no matter what these people say. And just thank you for keeping true to yourself and knowing that the mission that you had was bigger than this. And no matter how many people try to shut you down, God gave it to me. God gave it to me. You hear it? All right, let's hear it. Yes. Let's get into some of your music. I know you were a member of the R&B group, The Pockets, which was a kind of like kind of signed to the end part of the Earth, Wind, and Fire. What do you say? Cosmic stratosphere.
Yeah.
So tell us about your time with them.
My time with them was very amazing. I had the opportunity. I was actually fasting again, and I was praying. I was on my knees, and I told God, I need you to connect me to a bunch of old men. That was the prayer.
Come on.
Old men that's been in the industry and that can help me to another level. And when I got off my knees, I got a phone call from Gary Groove. He's a bass player. He played for Monifa and Rough Ends. And he said, have you heard of Pockets? I said, never heard of him. And so he told me about him. I went out, I brought the record. I studied their music. I had an audition to just back up. And I went home to go out of town, and I got the phone call, and he told me to come back. And I became the lead singer. So I became the lead singer of Pockets. I joined them 2014. I left 2017. In the process, Larry Jacobs, the original lead singer, he came back, and we duoed up and did some work. And then we traveled to London to do a tour with Breakwater from
Philadelphia. Come on, Philly is on Breakwater.
But being with them was, I learned a lot. I learned a lot. I learned how to be grateful. Period.
Come on. Gratitude.
Period. I learned how to be grateful, to be around those men with wisdom, no matter what the ups and downs was, because that was none of my business. My job was to do what I was sent there for. So because I was so focused, I didn't have time to pay attention to what should have been done.
Come on now.
Because that ain't my work.
And you were focused on your mission. You knew the reason why you were there. And that's all. That's half of the battle, is knowing the reason why you are there and staying true to that, because that will help you block out a lot of noise, because the noise going to come.
Right. And you know, Pockets, they were signed to Earth, Wind, and Fire, but they've never made it to London. So this was their first time going to London. They did the All in All tour with Earth, Wind, and Fire, but they never went to London. So for me to be there with the lead singer, that was an honor, because I'm like, he's the lead singer, like he's still living. So to see him get his flowers was just like,
come on now, beautiful.
So I learned a lot from them. I love them.
Love that. Come on now. All right, so I did have a chance to listen to some of your music. Freedom, I have to get into this song, Breathe. Breathe. Baby,
Yay.
when I tell you, look at my Monique voice, baby.
My Monique voice. I need to reach this fan.
Right? What? Oh, go. You got it? There
I'm
you go,
sorry,
sweet pig.
guys.
Come on, that's all right. Let me grab this so you won't sit on it. Okay. So we got to get into Breathe. When I heard it, it's something spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, and I told you this before, your voice, it dances. I haven't quite heard anything like it since, and it's not comparison, but Luther Vandross, because he was that type. He could hit a stage and that voice would just dance, and he can just go off the cuff and bring it right back, and it was just a beautiful higher level experience, and that's exactly what your music gives me. So talk to me about Breathe.
Breathe, I wrote that song because back in 2000, 2016.
2016, okay.
I was 280 pounds.
What?
I almost had a massive heart attack, and I lost my memory. And I was rushed to the hospital.
Wow.
And when I was there and regaining my memory back, long story short, the Spirit of God told me to breathe. And I wrote that song in the hospital. So the song is about me looking in the mirror and seeing my reflection and asking myself those questions. That's what the song is about, me breathing again. And hearing about this thing called love, but never felt it before. So I just continue on to breathe until then. Because people talk about love,
Come on.
but it's not real until you find it.
Come on.
Here first.
Come on now.
So
It's in you.
Yeah, it's in me. So I
Yep.
have to find it. So that song just it basically just speaks on. I really believe I died a spiritual death.
Wow.
God had to he had to increase, but he had to disable me to enable me. And I had to go through the process. We all go through it a lot as artists. We just don't talk about it. Why? Because it's too spiritual. Why? Because it's too deep. And we don't want people to know that we have that connection, because it might take a certain group of people away, or fans, or this, that, and the other. But if you deny him on earth,
Woo.
I'm okay.
Come on now. Look, come on, speak. Can I get a witness on this Sunday morning?
Oh, it is Sunday.
And it is Sunday. Come on. The Sunday the Lord has given us.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, beauties. Yes. Oh my God, that is beautiful. Okay, so before we get out of here, would you mind giving a little rendition of Breathe? It doesn't have to be the whole thing, but just the chorus, or you want to give it to us right now, or we'll leave it when it's time to go?
Can we do a part 2?
Yeah, we can do a part 2.
Why? Yeah.
Okay, we'll do a part 2 on that.
It's a little early.
It's a little early on a Sunday. That's okay, baby. All right. So let's get in just really quickly. You were on season 1 of American Soul. How did that go? Because when that came out, it was, if you guys don't know, it's the story of Soul Train and how it started. So what was your role in that?
Well, the thing was, I was working with a producer by the name of Stuart Hart.
Okay.
And Stuart Hart is a producer that works with different movies and films like Netflix and different films like that.
Yes.
And out of me being a ghost singer, ghost writer, I, through my time, was connected to him through Pockets.
Okay.
And what he did was he did back songs for BET.
Okay.
So what happened was, like, when you have your front singers that's like there, but then like in the mix of the sing, like if you hear music in a car,
yes,
or in a club, or at a bar, that's where you would hear my voice.
Oh,
so
okay.
the 2 songs that I did, they were picked up for the TV show.
Wow.
So I wasn't on it, my voice was
Your
on
voice was on
it.
it. Okay.
So the first song that I did, Dance Floor, it played throughout.
Okay.
Like here and there. And then the other song, Don't Ever Let Me Go, was played on the 10th episode with Kelly Price.
Come on now.
Yeah, so
look how them credits gonna go a long way, child.
And the thing was with that, those songs was for some commercials over in Sydney, Australia that never got picked up.
Wow.
So what happened was the producer Stuart Hart said, God hears you. Can you pray to him that these go somewhere? And I said, no, you can pray to him because he can hear you too. And one day I was sitting down watching television and it was coming on and I was like, God, I want to watch this. Like one day my voice is going to be on it, this, that, and the other. And I turned on the TV and then my phone was saying congratulations. And I said, for what?
Wow.
And then he called me and was like, your songs made it to the show. So I'm watching the show praying that my voice is on there while I'm on there. I didn't even know that it got picked up for the show.
Wow,
That's how
Freedom.
I found out. I had no clue.
What? Look at
because
God.
I did it for a commercial.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be
ghosting. Just like, oh, nigga.
Yeah.
And they got picked up.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do we have to look forward to Freedom Imani in the future?
Well, right now I am working on a new album.
Okay.
It's going to be a live album, and the name of the album is entitled "You Don't Own My Life," and it just gives a series of color, and sound. The second project that I'm working on is called Sounds Without Words. It's a full album of me having a conversation with a band. No words, just sound from here to there.
Just to see, look, that voice dancing and just having to do what it do and let spirit lead you.
So I'm working on that. You know, I'm really pushing now for giving the opportunity for more people to hear me now, because I wasn't focused on that. My focus was doing what God needed me to do. So now I'm more focused on I want to release an album, a full project and everything. So that's what I'm working on now.
All right,
and I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
You'll be the first one to get it.
Come on now, yes, guys.
So I have some people that I'm going to be, you know, working with and bringing on a project. I'm really praying to get my brother Mike Scott on it.
Okay.
Mike Scott played guitar for Prince.
Oh, wow.
So I had the honor to work with him. So I'm speaking and praying to just bring some people on with me, but that's what I'm working on, brand new projects for the first time here in the U.S.
Absolutely beautiful, y'all. I had the pleasure of sitting here speaking to a future legend, baby. This voice, the spirit, the level of just humility, you walking in your purpose. I see nothing but great things for you, and just, baby, stay focused.
Yes.
Just stay focused, block out of that noise. So Freedom, let the people know, how can they find you? Hey y'all.
So guys, you can follow me only on Instagram.
Okay.
I have a new page coming up on Facebook. I have a new website coming up, and it will be called, you know, Freedom Imani. Period.
Come on.
But you guys can follow me on Instagram at Freedom Imani, and that's FREEDOM IMANI.
Come on, look, he said aura. That's that down south. Come on.
Or that be more.
Yeah, that's that be more, y'all.
So yeah, guys, please follow me, and you guys will be able to see much more new shows. I have some live shows coming up in Richmond.
Okay.
I'm about to do a live show on the 3rd of August.
August 3rd, okay,
August
in Richmond.
3rd
What's
in
the
Richmond.
venue?
The Common House.
The Common House in Richmond.
So you'll find it on my page.
Okay.
I have another one that's coming up. I'm looking to be probably around the 7th at the Reveler in Richmond as well. So I have some upcoming dates soon that I haven't announced, but I just announced.
Yes.
So check my name.
Check it out, y'all. Freedom, thank you so much for joining. This is a new edition of Talk to Me Toy, the podcast.
Yes.
Thank you for being a blessing. I appreciate you. To the moon and back. And bye, friends. We'll catch you next time.